welcome to day 2 of our Christmas card or Christmas in July series. I am so excited to be back with you. Yesterday we made this card for our first card of the series. It is a square scalloped card, shaped card. I love making these type of cards. They're just different. Definitely gives you like the homemade feeling, and just different than what you would get in the, stores. So what we're going to do from here is to continue your handmade effect, or to continue, giving your clients, if you sell cards, that experience. I make a coordinating envelope for pretty much every card that I make. So that's the next step. This card is just over 4.5 by 4.5. Obviously it's squared. So we're going to make a custom envelope for this. Now, if you are going to mail this, just put this in a 5x7 envelope, so that you don't get charged extra shipping. If you are handing this off to somebody, because squared cards do cost extra, in the mail world, obviously. So you can just throw this in a 5x7 card and be on your way. I am going to show you how to do a square card, or what my square card would look like. I do have the envelope punch board from We Are Memories Keeper, and it has all of your measurements here. We're going to do a 5x5 card. So we do need to make paper that is a 5x5 card. You need a paper size that is 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. And this little apparatus, little tool, is a game changer. I just got this a couple weeks ago and have been making all of the envelopes. So you can use a regular size of 8.5. That is 100-pound paper. Generally for envelopes, I want to use my 80-pound paper. 100-pound paper is really tough and will sometimes crack on the edges. So 80-pound paper is generally perfect, and that way you can still ink on it. You can do a bunch of things. And then, like I said, we are going to do a little bit of coordinating. Now, my envelopes sometimes don't coordinate exactly, but I think getting an envelope that has a little bit of fun stuff on the outside definitely makes getting, cards even more special. So we're going to get our little cutter out here, and 8 1/8 should be this, right? Because that would be 1/4 right there. I'm like, hold on, I gotta remember my measurements, right? And then an 8 1/8 right there. Make sure everything is lined up. All right, so essentially, obviously a square. We're gonna put our scraps into our scrap bin, because us card makers do not waste anything. All right, so let's bring out our punch board. And so pretty much it tells you where you need to start your score line. And so it will tell you just the directions over here. And literally the first time I took this out, I started making a card, and it was like, it's easy. So you select your card size of what you need. So, oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, right here, 5x5. I was like, did I do the wrong one? No, 5x5. Trim my paper to the correct paper size, which is what I did. Left align the left edge of the page with the score line. So 4 1/8. So we're going to go over here and 4 1/8. And then it will say punch and score. So you want to get your little score thing out of here. So 4 1/8. So you're going to punch, just push that down, and then use the little score line over here to go right up here and score. And then you just rotate the paper so 90 degrees counterclockwise. You pretty much line, let's see, line the score mark with the score guide. So you pretty much just line this back up with this little device there. Punch again. Ooh, and score again. And go all the way up into there. And then just turn it, line it back up with that score guide. There we go. Punch. And I just love that you can make your own envelopes. So this card series, I am going to be making an envelope for just about every card that we make. So you can expect a card to be made on Monday and an envelope to be made on Tuesday. And we're just going to go into, and there we go. There is your envelope. Then it leaves your pretty little score things right there, your little punch. And then you just fold it and it will all come together just like that and just like that. And you can just decide whatever one you want for the bottom. Sometimes they, you know, you can tuck that underneath. I think I like it. I always think I like it tucked over top. There we go. And then I think the pretty awesome thing is that I am going to use you'll see me use a lot of pattern paper this year because I have loads of Christmas pattern paper that I never use. And I got it for scrapbooking. And so, I'm going to start using them for the inside of my card, again, just to add another special touch and honestly, to get rid of the pattern paper. So, and as you can see, like I said, even 80-pound paper sometimes is like creases a little bit. So it is up to you on what type. This is Nina White 80-pound paper also. Okay, so this is the pattern paper that I want to put on the inside. It's just a good red that I feel like kind of goes with the red of the card. It's got Christmas. I've used this a little bit for tags, as you can see. But it's just big, like just big enough to fit in there. And really, I'm just gonna bring in my board. And I think what I'm gonna do is just line this back up here just to get, oh, you know what, I'm gonna cut it down first. That's silly, duh. Of course we're gonna cut it down first. Only thing with this one is obviously like you kind of do need to make it the way that the paper goes. Since this one has a direction, sometimes I just like using pattern paper that you don't even need a direction, so you don't even have to worry about that kind of stuff. But this is just the one I chose. I try not to also, like, you know, make myself make another decision if that makes sense. Like, I don't want this to be another decision that I have to make. So, all right. And then so if I was to redo this, I would have cut this while I was cutting the envelope. Honestly, I probably from now on won't use pattern paper that needs to go a certain way. And that way, then you can just cut it and you don't have to worry about that. Pro tips from a not so pro and somebody that's doing this for the first time and figuring it out for herself. Okay, So there we go. Now that will go right down in there, and that works. I really didn't even need to use that this time. All right, so, and that will hide in there, so you're not going to see any of that. That's what you're going to see when it opens. So let's get some glue going on here. And honestly, I think actually I need to probably cut some off from the bottom anyways. Oh, no, it is not going to. I thought it was going to overlap. There we go. We've made a bit of an insert for that. I just want to make sure that everything lines up, and you really can't. I don't want to be able to see it. There we go. There you go. And then I will just use some, just because it's not as messy, I guess, for this part. Go. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do with this is these Christmas snowflake stencils. I think these are layering stencils, but what I want to do is I just want these 3 here going off of the edge a little bit. Now you can also do this before you pull your you could do this also before you do up your envelope. You know, it's just preference. So what I want to do though, I don't want to go up here. I just want, so we're going to mask that off a bit. And we're going to go here. And then we're going to use a little bit of Lost Shadow to kind of coordinate with that gray paper that we used in our card. And just a nice light there we go. Perfect. Actually just changed my mind, and I'm going to stamp them because I would just hate for the mail to not let my card go through. I haven't had any issues at this point, but I do send out a lot of cards that just you know, they're just like thank you cards. They don't need to get there like super on time or fast or anything. So I am going to use my, I call my knockoff Misty, because I only have a mini Misty and it's not big enough for this envelope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stamp set, and it's 1, 2, yep. And I'm just going to go, I'm going to go a little bit above. Actually, I'll go here. Go here. And we're going to stamp with Holiday Red by Close to My Heart, just because it's like my truest red I have. Truest Christmas red, I should say. Not sure if I've prepped these fonts. Now, because I did use Distress inks, this is going to, Distress ink is probably going to come through. It's going to sit on it a little bit, as you can see right there. But again, this is an envelope. It is all okay. And we used 80-pound paper, so this paper is perfect, and we even put more pattern paper behind that paper, so we should be just fine. Why do I feel like that moved a little bit? But that's okay. It did. How did that move? Oh, the stamp moved. When I cleaned, I guess. It's no big deal. It's handmade. The platform got wet and it moved. All right. It's not the end of the world. It's okay, guys. We're gonna, again, handmade, not perfect, right? I must have hit it when I was wiping the other red and moved. Oh, yeah. And moved it, or it's moving itself, one of the two. I don't really know. Okay, we'll take that. Perfect. I mean, not perfect, but perfectly imperfect, right? Now, like I was going to do dies before this, you could have done dies. It just gives the envelope a little bit more dimension. If you are hand delivering your Christmas cards, go right freaking ahead and put dimension on your envelopes. There will be ones like my mother. I could hand deliver like my mom's Christmas card, my husband's mother's Christmas card, and those Christmas cards are the ones that I do for special people anyways. So I would go ahead and probably most likely put dimension on theirs. So you'll also see I got a little bit of a smudge right there. So we're going to pull out my sand eraser and just clean that up a bit. There we go. And as long as it's not a huge smudge, then it should clean up pretty darn well. And we do need to score this a little bit more. It's not wanting to sit. Come out. We're just going to take this and score this just a smidgen more so it sits. And we have a card with a coordinating envelope, and it makes me happy. They don't have to be exactly perfect. They don't have to be exactly the same. A lot of my cards I will do more the same. Like if I would have done that in a stamp, I would have used the stamp on that thing, but I didn't use the stamp, obviously. A lot of the times I will use a stamp on the outside of the card also, or on the outside, on the envelope. I wanted to show this one that you didn't have to use alcohol markers for everything in case you're not an alcohol marker person. So, and there we go. And it will obviously fit just cozily, even with the little bit of dimension. Look at that. And we'll put our envelope up there, or put our envelope, our stamp. I don't think I have Christmas stamps yet. Nope. I don't have Christmas stamped yet, so we'll eventually get those. But there we go. Super excited. And we have our first Christmas card plus envelope done for the season in July. Yay. I will see you guys on day 3. Day 3, we actually, oh, you know what? I think actually this is going to be switched, because I needed to switch it. I'm sorry, guys. This is actually day 3 that I'm doing right now. So I'll have to switch that, and that's what happens when you're not doing a voiceover and can't edit it. So this is actually day 3. And yesterday we did a live over on TikTok. I am hoping to do a live, like, conjoin from TikTok to YouTube. So I have a few days to figure that out, and hopefully we can figure that all out and get that done. But we now have a full card ready to go out for Christmas, and I'm pumped that I'm getting these done. Talk to you guys soon.